I didn't force you into marriage. You could have said no.
But you did force me. I am so in love with you, and I was so afraid I'd lose you if I said no, and I was so happy to say yes. I didn't really think about what I would be missing, but if you just let me experiment some, it'll all work out.
Don't let infidelity infiltrate your relationship. Subscribe to the channel to know everything about real strong love. Sit back and listen to this extremely interesting story.
Am I just clueless that I've never questioned whether or not I'm enough for my partner, girlfriend, wife, whomever? I read these stories about how men are supposedly ashamed of the size of their dignity, and it makes me realize that I have never thought about or paid attention to how big, small, thick, or thin someone else's dignity is. It just never mattered to me. I guess without thinking about it, I've always been comfortable in my own skin, and my banana has always done its job. None of my partners ever complained about the quality of my relationship. They always looked happy and loved playing with me, and God knows I was always happy. I never had a particular need for anything else. I'm good with my head. Women seem to like my tongue, but then I don't worry that they won't want to continue after the woman feels really good. But when my wife asked if I'd ever want to open up our marriage to other partners, it gave me pause. Suddenly, I was confronted with that question. Wasn't I enough for her? We'd been open about our past experiences. I'd had a fairly active sex life since junior year of high school, have been in the military, and have had partners in some fairly exotic places. There's just not enough time for romance in war zones, no matter what the movies show. But I've been with some very experienced women who were good teachers, and have been with some virgins as well. My wife Jean, on the other hand, had some experiences in the back seats of cars in high school before meeting me in college. I had just been discharged from the Marines and was continuing my education. She was an 18-year-old freshman when it happened for the first time. It was also the first time in bed and on a couch and on a table. Oh yeah, and in the shower. Pretty much the first time outside of a car.
These thoughts tormented John, and they were not without reason, because the events did not unfold as he would have liked.
So that was the driving force. She didn't know what it was like to play with someone else, but I did. Turns out her friend Monica thought that that was unfair, and I should be willing for Jean to experience more of life if I really loved her. Monica was the snake in my Garden of Eden. How do you deal with that? Your wife thinks it's somehow unfair that you lived your life before you made your vows to spend it with the person you love, and she and Monica thinks it's unfair that the vows were made before she had the opportunity to sleep with the college football team, or for various random guys in bars. Isn't that something that you should have thought about before saying I do? I asked. I didn't force you into marriage. You could have said no.
But you did force me. I am so in love with you, and I was so afraid I'd lose you if I said no, and I was so happy to say yes. I didn't really think about what I would be missing, but if you just let me experiment some, it'll all work out.
I sat down. My head was pounding, and I felt like crying. This didn't make any sense to me. More to myself than to her, I said, I've always been monogamous even when I was dating. I've always been monogamous even when I was dating. I've had one-night stands, but never when I was in a relationship. I never shared. I don't think I could share.
It won't be sharing.
Jane squealed.
It's just letting me have some equal experiences. Monica says it'll be great for both of us. It'll put us on equal footing and bring new experiences into our marriage. I'll still love only you, and we'll be fine once I've had my experiences.
I sat quietly for a long time, with Jean anxiously watching me, occasionally begging me to say something. Finally, I got my thoughts together. Jean, there's no upside to this. First of all, I only lose in this. I lose the trust and love I have for you. I think I already may have lost that. Obviously, I've also lost any respect that you've ever had for me. Secondly, if you think playing with someone else is better, why would you come back to me? And if it's not better, won't you just try another lover and another until you find one that is better? you'll always be dissatisfied with me. And I don't think games are better or worse with different loving partners. It's just different. But the fact that you want to have experiences tells me I'm not enough for you. I expect that you'll always be looking for more than I can give. But I will agree to let you have your experiences. Jean squealed again and threw her arms around me, planting kisses on my face and assuring me that everything will be great and I wouldn't be sorry. I think you're right, Jean. I won't be sorry. I want you to have the same experiences I did, with the same circumstances that I had.
John looked at her, upset by these events.
I was single and fancy-free when I had my experiences. You should be the same. I'll file for divorce tomorrow. Then you can have all the experiences you want. I packed my possessions into my car while Jean cried and pulled at me, yelling that this wasn't what she wanted, that she loved me and I was just being stupid. Jean, it's not what I wanted either, so we equal there. I wanted a wife who was everything to me and for whom I was everything. You've told me that's not us, but it's still possible for me to find that. Meanwhile, I guess I was just part of those experiences you want to have before being able to mean it when you weigh, I do, goodbye and good luck. I closed the door on that part of my life.
Friends, this story should serve as an example for you of how to keep your heart unbroken. What would you have done in the protagonist's shoes? I'm interested in your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.